Good morning once again. You're watching OTV right now. It's the show Diversity in Unity. You're watching OTV from wherever you are. I want to let you know that today it's another episode, another great episode of the show Diversity in Unity. My name is Jenny as usual, and today I have a new co-host with me here, who is Miss Sandrine. It's Amahirwe Masa, right? It's not Amahirwe, just Amahirwe. It has to be Amahirwe Masa. You have to complete it.
It's Amahirwe.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And I'm excited to be hosting this show with you.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. So, Sandrine, we are going to have a great episode today. And we are in the month of women, so we're still celebrating women. Right.
Yeah.
And it's another opportunity to host another incredible and great achiever woman here in the house. But before we head to that, let's say that women have been very, very innovative. Yeah, women have been very innovative, and especially the young generation. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of testimonies. We have a lot of women outside here who have been so innovative, who have been bringing a change to the society, right,
Yeah.
Sandrine? So, what do you want to tell the women outside there watching on TV right now, and they know that they want to achieve something or they've already achieved something?
Well, those who haven't yet achieved the things they want to achieve, I can encourage them. It's the only thing I can tell them. They should have the courage to take on what they want to do. And those who
Yes.
have already achieved something, they should not be satisfied with where they are. They
Yeah.
should keep going.
You really should keep growing and going on. So let's say that today's episode goes on with women, celebrating women. But today we have another topic. This topic is going to be introduced, but before we head to this topic, I would like to tell you that if you have been commenting, if you have been liking our shows, please, we are thankful. And if you have been with us since the start of this journey, of being an ambassador of influence, it's a great thing. We appreciate that. And we want all of you who are watching this show, Diversity in Unity, to not give up. Just keep going, keep learning with us. Sandrine, we hosted a lot of guests who had different ideas, who had different packages for us. And today we are hosting someone young. Aren't you excited about
Yeah,
that?
I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, me too. And we're going to have another great achiever, a woman.
Sure.
So, the topic of today, would you like to tell us the topic of today, Sandrine?
Well, our today's topic is innovation in young generation.
Yeah, innovation in young generation. What do you understand by that? Because everyone can develop a meaning.
Well, according to my definition, I can say innovation is bringing up something new, something that was not there, or improving what was already there. So I'm very excited about this topic. So I want to know from from our guest today
Yeah.
how she thinks of the innovation in young generation.
Oh,
So
here you come mentioning it's a she.
yeah,
Of course, it's a she. We're celebrating women.
yeah,
Yeah, so we're still in the month of March where we talk about women, where we talk about what women have been achieving, where we talk about the challenge that women have been facing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that thing that you talked about, what she has achieved, how she's going to tell us more. But me too, I want to learn from her. But I want you, if you're watching or TV right now, if you're watching this show, please don't be there just watching. Just take some notes and write. You might need this in the future. So let's not take long and introduce the topic of today, which, as we said, is innovation in young generation. So we're just going to take a short break, right, Sandrine, and then
Yeah.
come back with our guest of honor today, who is a female, of course. Lord. Praise the Lord. Here we come back again. Diversity in Unity is the show you're watching right now. It's all TV. Thank you for being here with us. The long journey of being an ambassador of influence wherever you're watching from, please make sure you're an ambassador of influence. So we are going straight to the topic of today as we introduce and welcome our guest of honor, Miss Giselle Irakoze Sandrine. Welcome, welcome back to Diversity.
Thank you, Jenny.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, we've been receiving a lot of guests around who have been telling us much about women, much about innovation, not in terms of being innovative in creation, in creating different activities. But today we have you, so we are so appreciative.
I'm just humbled, thank you.
Okay, so Miss Giselle, Miss Sandrine, because today we have two Sandrines. So one is going to be Giselle and another is going to be Sandrine. Giselle has a question for you before we start. Go ahead.
Well, I would like to ask our guest of today the way or the inspiration behind what she came up with her organization, with what she's doing. I want her to tell us more about what she's doing.
Yeah, so you're going to tell us in brief.
All right, thank you. First of all, thank you for hosting me today.
Yes.
And I've been watching your show. It's really amazing to see that you are giving a platform to young
Yes,
people, to
yes.
women in general, especially that we are in the Women Month.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm just privileged. I'm just humbled for this opportunity. So back to your question, namesake.
Yes.
Well, to give just a short background of who I am a young adult. I am a young person transitioning to adulthood, I would say.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, but also what can we do? It's just age.
Yeah.
And I have been blessed, I would say, to take an initiative or maybe responsibility of doing something out of the knowledge that I have, the skills, and also the opportunities that serves our country, also that God has given me, I would say.
Amazing.
And yeah, I have founded an organization called Ndawaga Impact. And Ndawaga Impact is an organization that seeks to offer an opportunity or maybe a platform for the youth, or I like to call them change leaders.
Wow.
And for capacity building and peace building in general through intergenerational dialogue, creative arts, and research. So basically, that's about it. The inspiration behind that is that, well, I grew up with a lot of curiosity. I wanted to
Yes.
explore and explore, and I like to reflect it onto the fact that I'm a firstborn, and I feel like it's also another blessing
Wow.
that many
You're a
people don't.
firstborn.
I am a firstborn, and
Wow.
I like to take it as something that has given me a certain background,
Yes.
and also it has given me a huge responsibility of seeing the world in a different way, and also to take action. And here we are.
Yeah. Here we are. So I'm so curious to know why the name Dabaga. We have Dabaga, I mean, early in those times in the books when we were maybe in high school or primary. Yeah, we heard the story of Ndabaga. It's so inspiring story. Then how did you come up with Ndabaga?
That's interesting. Also,
Yeah.
that's also a question that many people get to ask me. So, is it only girls that you support, or like something
Yes.
like that? But Dawaga is, yes, as you said, is a legend, and I so much grew up like being inspired by such a story. I don't know if it's a fiction story, however, but I
It's a
just like
great
the
story
story.
though, yeah.
I just like the story, and it has given me the strength to see that the change that we seek to make, the innovation and everything, can not only be made by a man. Also, a woman is enough, like, to make just such a change. And
Yeah.
it was just the inspiration behind the story, and also liking the process of like empowerment. Yeah.
Amazing. So here we are now with the CEO of Ndabaga
Oh.
Impact. I know that all those people, I mean, all those young people that you've been impacting, that you've been bringing to your change leaders, leaders of change. I heard it's through intergeneration dialogues, research, creative arts. Let's talk about arts.
Uh-huh.
I'm interested. How do you do, what kind of arts do you create? What do you do, like in terms of arts?
Yeah. So I guess on a personal level, you know
Yeah.
me as, as an artist, but as years come and go,
Yeah, I know you
some
as.
things, some passions
By
fade.
the way, we
Uh-huh.
have someone, I know her like a poet. She has a lot of creatives. I don't know, but let's talk about arts.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I used to be a poet. A
Yes.
poetess just like you.
But poets
Uh,
don't die, so you still are a
well,
poet.
probably, but
Yeah.
now more interested into writing.
Okay.
Um, but the creativity or the innovation behind the arts that I'm talking about is anything that can convey a message.
Oh,
It doesn't
wow.
have really just to be poetry or something that we normally call arts. And so it's into drama, into theater, into music, into painting, but also especially now we are putting much more effort into animations and also into the creative space as drama
Oh, wow.
and yeah.
Wow.
In
So,
that
drama
case.
dancers, if you're watching, please join Sandrine. She'll help you. Yeah. So, another question from Sandrine.
Well, I would ask to know, like, you told us how you came up with the inspiration. Many people sometimes their inspiration comes when they are still at school from what they took up where they were learning. So kindly tell us, what did you take up maybe when you were in university, what you do in your daily life. So how do you connect it with the things that you are doing, empowering the youth now? So
Thank you. That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
How do I connect passion with
yeah,
professionalism?
yes,
Um, I think the passion, everyone is born with passion. Now, how do I connect the passion that I have, especially because I'm into the social work space?
Yes.
How do I connect it now with the professionalism or the way of like
Your
career
professional
growth?
career.
Yeah, true. The passion itself, I think I was created with it, but also I believe that everyone is born with a lot of things. We are interested into a lot of things, as also, like we are in a modernized world. We have technology every time. Like things get to be changing, and so is our life, which
Changing as
evolves.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
But now on a professional way, on the side of professionalism, I'm a project manager. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis. I am into the project management space. I work on two different projects, and now it has enabled me also to know my visions and also to understand my purpose on this earth, and now follow a path when it comes to education and also when it
Yes.
comes to experiences, what I like to have my experience or
Yeah.
what I would like to have my time dedicated into. And so that's basically how I would connect my professionalism and passion. Uh, yeah.
Together. Yeah.
thank
That's
you.
You're
interesting.
welcome.
So we talked about Ndabaga impacts. We talked about how you are project manager. Okay, on different projects, but let's come back to these intergenerational dialogues. Like, how do you carry out these dialogues? Who do you call? Like, what kind of people do you join together, and what takes place in those, intergenerational dialogues? We're trying to come to the point where you impact these people that you are hosting or that you are gathering together. And
All right. Thank you, Jenny. So, first of all, I would like to tackle on the fact of, or maybe on the side of intergenerational dialogue, what is it about
yes.
and why did I think it would be one of the solutions. Well, intergenerational dialogue is a platform that is offered to bridge the knowledge between older generation and younger generations.
Oh, wow.
That is because we get to see the misplacements or maybe the conflicting parties between older generations
And
to
young
younger
generation.
generations. That's the thing because,
Yeah.
as I said, we are into
Too much conflicts involved.
because we can't deny the fact that our
Yeah.
world evolves on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis. There is so much going on. There is globalization and everything, and so I thought about, or maybe I can't take all the credits. I would say I would give the credits to all the change
Yeah.
leaders because it's one of the things I have come up as a finding through the research that there is a lot of misplacements when it comes to solutions that are being brought by the youth because they are not considered to be like the real change makers because um, i- they're not backed by the support of the older generation.
Yes.
So the intergenerational dialogue is an idea of how can we bring all the
Yes.
strengths together, how can we bring
Yeah.
in their own perspective, in their own responsible spaces, for instance the church, for instance how can the young people have the initiative of a change
Yes.
through a joint action, especially
Yes.
where they come from in their communities, at school, in politics, in business, in women
very
empowerment, in
interesting.
church, and
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's very innovative. We have an innovator here in the house. So let's come to our topic of today. So we were discussing about the topic of today, which is innovation in young generation. And yeah, we have an innovator here and you're young, so it's a great thing.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled.
It's amazing. So Sandrine has been saying about something about young when we talk about young generation. So you have had your own start, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't that easy. And like she mentioned, some people start in high school. I've ever heard about you. Let me say this. I've ever heard about Giselle Sandrine, where she was hosted to one of our other shows in this country. Yeah, where she was talking about how she started in high school, which something shocks me. Wow. Someone started being innovative at that young age in high school. Like, how did you even put yourself together and then start something and then bring it up till today? How was that journey?
Jenny, let me tell you something.
Yes.
You never know you're making a difference until you're told. Now I didn't know it was a different,
No.
maybe a difference or maybe something of I don't know, like for that sake.
Yeah.
But if you also look back into maybe your upbringing, you're going to
Yes.
find that there is something you've always done and you never thought it was something big. Like for
Wow.
instance, at my home,
Yes.
we've always been taught the value of like reward in this way. For instance, my mom would always tell us that if you clean my room, I'm going to give you a coin. I'm going to give you something.
Yeah.
And then you would understand growing up that you will never get anything
Until you
you
work for
earn it.
it. Oh my god.
Let me tell you, that's where we get I think that's where everything came from. So I wouldn't take all the credits for like being innovative at a very young age, but I would say also it comes from how you were brought,
Raised up, yeah.
yeah, from the family level, or also from the community you were surrounded with, where you studied. Because I have been privileged, I would say that I did my education in a very strong school when it comes to empowerment, especially for
Yes.
girls. It was a single school,
Yeah.
and I think also that gave me an extra encouragement
Wow.
of doing something,
Yeah.
or maybe taking
Of standing for
responsibility.
women. Woo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
I would say.
Wow, that. Then you started by earning some coins from your mom, like, And then at school, let's now come at school. So you thought, among all many things that you would have thought of, what is that thing that came into your mind that just bumped into your mind and then you just started it and then it worked?
Okay. Let me just give it, let me make it very informal.
Yes.
So this is what happened. I think the idea of the organization itself started. Okay, it started a bit earlier when
Yes.
in 2013, I would say, but now it became something like of an impact in 2015. So I had moved from a certain school to a different school, and
Yes.
then I saw a huge gap of like the irresponsiveness, especially the girls there weren't empowered enough, and also young people were like, okay, if I'm not a head girl, if I'm not a head boy, so it doesn't
That's
concern
it.
me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, look at me, I'm here. I've always taken my risks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I going to? How am I going to
Yeah.
survive in this community? So I was like, oh, by the way, we have talented people here. Like in
Yeah.
my class, it didn't have to be the
Oh,
whole
you even
school.
started from class.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like, can we come together
so
and build
specific.
something? Yeah, and we used to host shows where we would invite celebrities at that time because the school was
Wow.
in Kigali, and then they would come. They would give us. It was. I think it was a segment called I inspire, I impact. I don't remember. Surely I
Okay, yeah.
don't. They would like we would bring celebrities. We would invite other schools, and also we would now create a small group of young girls. We would make handcrafts. Would make shoes. We would sell shoes, and we would
Oh.
put kitenge on them, and then we would sell them. Lycée de Kigali, Lycée Notre-Dame,
Wow. Different schools are doing.
Saint-Andre. And then we had also an exhibition at a certain school in Chiwagawaga.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then that's how it started, actually.
Wow.
And
So
then it
young,
evolved.
so innovative.
I couldn't tell by then, but,
You know,
but
you're really the right guest for this show,
oh,
for today's
I'm so
topic.
humbled. I'm just so humbled.
Yeah, so Sandrine has another question. She's been wanting to ask about this.
Okay.
Well, like, what can you tell young girls who are still feeling themselves out there? Maybe they say, as you've given us your example, you got to a school where people were not being responsible, were not taking the initiative to bring changes. So what can you tell them? Maybe they were living in a hostile environment. Maybe they have a different background. They still have many challenges for them to have the courage, like the courage you had back then. Like, what can you tell them?
Okay. Thank you, Sandrine. So the advice I'm going to give is not just to them, because I'm also giving it to myself. I am still growing. I haven't
Yes.
made it in life,
Okay.
and we learn on a day-to-day basis. Well, I have been blessed to have started a podcast recently on my birthday this month as well, and
This month?
yeah, on the
Happy
first
birthday.
thank you. Yeah, so it's called Daily Gratitudes,
Wow.
and then there is something I've recently talked about. It's learning and unlearning. So the advice I would give, not just to young girls, but also to young people in general, is that life is for the learning and also for the unlearning. The more you face, the more it should leave you with a lesson and also an opportunity to unlearn the old ways you are doing things. There are things I've been doing in the past, but they can't just work anymore. I was doing things out of passion, but now that we talked about professionalism,
Yes.
now it came to be a time that I had to sit down and say, now how can I how can I make things out of now not just passion but also a career. So as you grow on a day-to-day basis, make sure that you've learned something and also unlearned something. Yeah. Thank you.
That's amazing. So, we're talking about Giselle Sandrine, but you are watching OTV right now, and you could also be having, a particular initiative out there, and you could also be wanting to start one. So she's a really very good example for you to be encouraged, to for you to take action. Yeah, she started very young, but here she is. She's having her own organization, and she's a project manager. She's into impacting the youth. She's bringing peace building and capacity building to young generation. She's making the leaders of change. Oh my God, it's an amazing thing. So she's doing this into different ways, but you could also be having something you want to start. Please follow her advice. And as we say, she's telling you to take action. Just don't stay out, don't be at school doing nothing, just learning, just taking courses. You can also try something, when the word is waiting for us when we finish high school or college studies. You have to be having something. It's a great thing. So we would like to come to this topic of today, which is entitled "Innovation in Young Generation." So you have been through this journey of being an innovative young person, and you have met different people. So tell us about how networking with different people, how meeting different people, or how reaching out to different people, maybe seeking for advice, seeking for help, seeking for investors. How was it? And what did you learn from that? Was it that easy or?
Wow. I think here you're going to cry. Well, okay, just a joke. Well,
Okay.
I think those are a lot of like things you're pointing at. But to be honest, this has been the hardest thing of a young entrepreneur. Now, not just a young entrepreneur, but a woman
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I think maybe you shall have also a privilege of hosting other young women who are into social
Yeah.
work, especially.
Yeah.
This is a great, great challenge that we get to face on this journey. Because most of the times, I would say all the time, we start just as passion. We don't have the skills, we don't have a lot of experiences, and we don't even have people to look up to, the
Yeah.
mentors, and like especially
Sometimes discourages people.
yeah, that's the thing. And also, we are not all blessed to have parents who have the
Yeah.
same,
The same.
they don't.
Yeah.
Myself,
Financial.
my mom is not an entrepreneur.
I see.
She could not. She could do everything she could, but
Yeah.
also when it comes to coming to the spotlight, that's not her thing. But it's really been a painful and also hard journey. But at the same time, it's been a journey that I keep overcoming every day because I keep learning every day. I keep looking for opportunities. Because I can't just sit here and say, "Oh, things are not working." While what do I have?
Yeah.
Like even the Bible says, you do one step, 99 God does.
Yeah.
So that's why learning all these things and also being broken by the journey itself has enabled me also to seek for the right content, going the right education path, for opportunities, also coming out of my comfort zone
Wow.
and saying also like, can I do site visits? Can I like look for research? Can I do research? Can I visit
Yeah.
other young people who are doing the same thing? Not
Yeah.
only young people, also other people who have made it. Can I network, as you said? Because, like for example, last year, I would say in September, I was going through a very hard time in with my organization,
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, okay, maybe what response should I be making? What like
How do I come
can
up
I
with
just
new
calm down this time
strategies?
around? Just evaluate myself and
Yeah.
say, what can I do? So I started looking for opportunities where I can just go listen to other people's speakers and also for right contents. So I was just attending events, networking events at different places because we do have them
Yeah.
just to learn, just to to gain new people, to gain new
Yes.
skills. And at the end of the day, I didn't want to be like, okay, so I failed, but I didn't do anything. I just
Yeah.
wanted to blame it on the tree or maybe on the table or whoever. I don't know, but
Yeah.
not just me. So I would say also, as you asked about that question, I know that there will be someone facing the same thing. It's it's hard and it might also get harder. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's the reality of the world.
Mm.
But what you need to do is keep evaluating yourself and
Yeah.
keep looking for opportunities to make yourself grow,
Wow.
to ensure that on your journey that you have started, there is nothing lacking because of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I learn a lot from that. Did you learn something? Are you going to start taking action? Are you going to start your own initiative? Oh my God. You know what? This is so inspiring. This is so inspiring. So, as we come to the conclusion of the show of today, we are talking about innovation in young generation. We're talking about being innovative as a young person, but we would like to ask Miss Sandrine Giselle to help us. Like she's been telling us more about taking action, and she's been telling us like how you're going to face a lot of challenge, but however hard that could be, you really have to find a way, find new strategies, approach people, get advices, and find new opportunities, get out from your comfort zone, go out and find ways to make it work and make it grow again, which is a great thing that we really learn from her. So we would like you to help us in a conclusion, telling the young generation who are watching us right now and they're willing to take action just from hearing you talking about how you started. Dabaga Impact is a very big thing. I've known her for years, and oh my God, she's still going on. A lot of startups have failed, but with the help of Jesus, she's been there, and she's still there, and she's going, farther. So, you gave us when you were sharing your profile, you gave us this quote that that's your favorite. So link it with inspiring the people who are watching right now or TV as we come to the conclusion. We want to hear your last message as we this show today. So I really love this. Maybe I'm also going to make it my favorite. Oh. So she said, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you please give us more about that as we come to the conclusion and as you give us your message to take home, of course.
Oh my God, this is becoming emotional. This is becoming emotional, and I love that you have given credit to our dear love Jesus Christ. Um, okay, so I don't know if I'm in a position to give any advice, but from my little experience that I have, um, so this life is for the living, that's for sure. So you will live if you want to live. If you don't want to live, you still live. That's the thing. So now, how can you ensure that you live a successful life? One thing is um, surrender to God. Just say, okay, God, I may be smart with what I am doing. Number two, I might be having great information, I may be having skills, but if I don't have you, I can't be anywhere. This is too personal to me because I've seen that having the right skills, having a great network, having a lot of money
Yes.
doesn't take you anywhere. Not just, okay, it does, but not every time. So that's the first thing. Knowing that God has given you a lot of things and he will supply. Keep giving.
Yes.
Like he will
Yeah.
keep supplying.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is like keep growing. Like make sure that you're doing something, you're busy doing something. It doesn't have to be giving you money, no, not especially that, but at this moment, as a young person, make sure that you're feeding your brain.
Wow.
Make sure that you have a skill which will help you earn
Yeah.
a living in the future,
Yeah.
because this period, this moment of young age, it's about learning. And number three, it's um, use all the skills that you have, and the skills also includes the network that you have.
Oh, wow.
If I know Jenny, and for instance, if I want, for instance, if I have an event that's going to be hosted, I would know that she's a journalist, so I'll benefit from her, and the same way she will. So
Yes.
make sure that everyone that is in your life also contributes something, and the skills that you have, which also includes
Wow.
just arts, is also contributing to your growth at the same time. So last but not least, have fun, people.
Wow.
We are young. don't don't just
That
be
should be
hard
the
on
last on the
yourself.
list.
Yeah, have fun. Don't look back in your, like, maybe 10 years from now and then say, oh, by the way, I didn't have fun and I didn't make anything like worse.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
smile.
Just spend all your
Make
time,
sure that you're doing something that makes you smile, and also that, contributes to also other people's growth.
Wow.
It is so good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandrine, Giselle, and thank you for being, oh my God, a warrior. You're a warrior. Yeah, you keep going and keep going. Many of them out there just fail at the start, but then here is a startup that has been so good and is going to grow. So we are thankful to everyone who has been watching our TV, especially this show, The Rest in Unity, and we would like to thank Miss Sandrine Giselle for being here and sharing what she shared, and giving us the great message and giving us her testimonies of what she went through, and empowering and inspiring us to go farther. So we are young, and of course, we have to have fun, but we have to work, go and use your networks, take action. Don't just stay where you are, and please struggle, but grow. Yeah, so we want to end this show by thanking all of you for watching today's episode, which was on the topic that is entitled Innovation in Young Generation. And I would also like to thank Miss Amahirwe Massa. Sandrine. So
Thank you.
yeah, it's an end of this show. Thank you for watching. Let's say bye bye.